What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Wednesday, February 10th, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Marvel released a seconds-long teaser for the next season of the Netflix original series Daredevil in time to celebrate Chinese New Year. The clip, shared on Twitter, shows the series protagonist, played by actor Charlie Cox, dressed in the Daredevil uniform as fireworks explode and red lanterns sway behind him. The voice is heard saying, as Cox's character slowly stands up from a kneeling position, "Your work is not yet finished." Bang, it concludes. The second season of Marvel's Daredevil will show Cox as Daredevil's personated lawyer Matt Murdock, Deborah Ann Woll as Karen Page, Eden Heston as Foggy Nelson, Scott Glenn as Stick, and Rosario Dawson as Claire Temple. The next 13 episodes in the series will also see actor John Berthenau as character Frank Castle, who will play the villain, the Punisher. E.L.D. Young will play Elektra. New episodes of Daredevil drops March 18th. Blake Lively and husband Ryan Reynolds cozied up with Deadpool over the weekend. The 28-year-old actress shared a photo of herself and the 39-year-old actor posing with a cardboard cutout of the Marvel character on a throne. Lively, who sits on Reynolds' lap as he cups her chest, and captions the picture, "Two Deadpools, one cup, your turn, #Deadpool." Reynolds will play the unstable mercenary in the standalone film Deadpool, which opens in theaters Friday. He first portrayed the character in the 2009 movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, starring Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Lively and Reynolds stepped out again to promote the film Monday at a fan event in New York. The occasion marked the couple's first appearance together since welcoming their daughter James in December 2014. Reynolds recently told Entertainment Tonight, "There's a lot of me in there. I love it. I can kind of channel Deadpool. For 11 years I've been trying to get Deadpool made. I love the opportunity to tell 3 or 4 more Deadpool stories." He also added Blake was pretty blown away by how the suit was such a faithful adaptation from comic book to screen. "My daughter would cry when she would see me in the scar makeup. It was hard. She'd hear my voice, but she'd see this guy who looks like a deep-fried testicle." Lively is slated for All I See Is You with Jason Clarke and will appear in a new Woody Allen film with Kristen Stewart. Reynolds will also star in The Hitman's Bodyguard with Samuel L. Jackson and Criminal with Gal Gadot. Ariel Kebbel will join stars Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan in the conclusion to the 50 Shades of Grey series 50 Shades Freed. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Ballers actress has signed on to portray Gia Mateo, a beautiful architect hired by Christian Grey to build his home, much to Anastasia Steele's dismay. The last film in the S&M trilogy is currently in development at Universal, as both 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed will be filmed back-to-back and released within a year of each other. Both films are set to be directed by James Foley, with the script by Neil Leonard, who is married to series author E.L. James. Kebbel, who is most known for her roles on Gilmore Girls and John Tucker Must Die, has recently appeared on Unreal, The League, and The Grinder. The casting comes after actress Kim Basinger signed on for 50 Shades Darker as Christian Grey's former lover Elena Lincoln, who first introduced him into the world of S&M. 50 Shades Darker is set to hit theaters on February 10th, 2017, and 50 Shades Freed arrives on February 9th, 2018. Director Robert Schwenkel has departed the Divergent series Ascendant, the 4th and final film in the popular post-apocalyptic franchise. According to Deadline, Schwenkel needed a break after helming the last 2 entries, Insurgent and Legion, back-to-back. Lionsgate will now be looking to hire a new director soon, as Ascendant was scheduled to shoot in Atlanta this summer with the planned June 9th, 2017 release date. Neil Berger directed the first Divergent film. Based on the young adults New York Times best-selling series by Veronica Roth, the Divergent series Ascendant stars Shailene Woodley, Theo James, Naomi Watts, and Jeff Daniels. The third entry in the series, The Legion, is still on track to make its March 18th release date. Sylvester Stallone considered boycotting the Oscars until he talked things over with Creed director Ryan Coogler. The actor, who won the Golden Globe for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role for Creed, discussed possibly joining in on the Oscars boycott while attending the Oscar nominees' luncheon in Beverly Hills Monday. According to Stallone, he left the decision up to Coogler. He said, "I remember I spoke with director Ryan Coogler when this #OscarSoWhy controversy happened, and I said, how do you want to handle this? Because I feel like you are responsible for me being here." He recalled, "I said, if you want me to go, I'll go. If you don't, I won't." Coogler said, "No, I want you to go. That's the kind of guy he is. I want you to go and respect us and stand up for the film." Stallone is the only nominee for Creed despite the film earning rave reviews. The boxing drama also stars African-American actor Michael B. Jordan. Coogler is African-American as well. Stallone said, "Michael Jordan, every time I look in his eyes as an actor, I said he was making me better. I think he should have been given a lot more respect and attention." Coogler goes, "Sly, just go there, try to represent the film, and we feel you deserve it. Eventually things will change." In 1977, Stallone was nominated for an Oscar in 2 categories, Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay for Rocky. This year's Oscar nominations represented the second year in a row that all 20 nominees in acting categories are white. And #OscarSoWhite hashtag brought attention to the issue on social media as various celebrities, including Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, Spike Lee, Whoopi Goldberg, Lupita Nyong'o, and others have expressed their disappointment in the lack of diversity. Some have discussed boycotting the February 28th awards show. Lee said he wasn't calling it for a boycott, but that he wouldn't attend the show. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science recently voted unanimously to make the voting members significantly more diverse following a statement from Academy President Cheryl Isaac Boone, who mentioned in January that she is, quote, heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion. Will Smith has revealed his plans to make Bad Boys 3 along with his series co-star Martin Lawrence. Appearing on BBC Radio 1 recently, Smith discussed running into Lawrence once again and how the meeting led him to believe that a new Bad Boys film was definitely going to happen. The actor revealed, "I saw Martin a few weeks ago. I haven't seen him for about 2 years. We just looked at each other. We hugged. In that moment, we knew we were making another Bad Boys." He exclaimed, "We're definitely doing another one." Smith also discussed the unlikelihood of Wild Wild West 2 ever being made and his thoughts on his son Jaden Smith, who was recently featured in a Louis Vuitton ad campaign for women's wear. The father of 3 said, "There's a really powerful internal quality as an artist that as parents we encourage. You got to get out on the edge. You have to try things. You have to be comfortable doing things that people don't agree with. And you have to be comfortable doing things that you could fail." And Jaden is 100% fearless. He'll do anything. So as a parent, it's scary. It's really terrifying, but he is completely willing to live and die by his own artistic decisions, and he just doesn't concern himself with what people think. Smith can next be seen as Deadshot in the upcoming DC Comics villain team-up film Suicide Squad, due in theaters August 5th. Bryan Fuller is to serve as co-creator and executive producer of a new Star Trek television series to begin airing in early 2017, CBS announced Tuesday. No casting for the show has yet been announced. Fuller, who started his career writing for Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager, most recently was the lead writer executive producer for Hannibal. Fuller said in a statement, "My very first experience of Star Trek is my oldest brother turning off all the lights in the house and flying his model of a D7 class Klingon battle cruiser through the darkened halls. Before seeing the frame of the television series, the Star Trek universe lit my imagination on fire." He also added, it is without exaggeration a dream come true to be crafting a brand new iteration of Star Trek with fellow franchise alum Alex Kurtzman and boldly going where no Star Trek series has gone before. Executive producer Kurtzman added, "Bringing Star Trek back to television means returning to its roots, and for years those roots flourish under Bryan's devoted care. His encyclopedic knowledge of Trek canon is surpassed only by his love for Gene Roddenberry's optimistic future, a vision that continues to guide us as we explore strange new worlds." The Golden Globe-winning comedy Mozart in the Jungle has been renewed for a 3rd season, Amazon announced Tuesday. Starring Gael Garcia Bernal and Lola Kirk, the show will go back into production later this year and, quote, "will continue the story of the talented musicians who perform and live with passion under the baton of its spirited conductor, best known simply as Rodrigo," a press release said. The series is executive produced by Roman Coppola, Jason Schwartzman, and Paul Weitz. Joe Lewis, the head of half-hour series for Amazon Studios, said in a statement, "Mozart in the Jungle bursts with creativity and passion and offer audiences something truly unique. Amazon is proud to have 2 of its most risky and enthralling comedy series on television today, along with Transparent." Schwartzman added, "We're grateful to Amazon for endowing our orchestra for another season. We can't wait to follow our characters through the vast world of music, whether performing on a subway platform or in the grand concert halls of Europe." Fuller House released the first full-length preview Tuesday on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Candace Cameron Bure, Jodie Sweetin, and Andrea Barber, who plays DJ Tanner, Stephanie Tanner, and Kimmy Gibbler, respectively, were on hand to introduce the trailer. The preview sees Stephanie and Kimmy come together to support DJ, now a widowed mother of 3 young sons. Bob Saget also appears as DJ's daddy, Danny Tanner, with John Stamos as Uncle Jesse, Lori Loughlin as Aunt Becky, and Dave Coulier as Uncle Joey. Fuller House is a sequel to a series to Full House, which had an 8-season run on ABC from 1987 to 1995. The new sitcom will premiere a 13-episode first season February 26 on Netflix. Burke told DeGeneres, I think anyone who follows us on social media knows we've never been apart. We're really great friends. Andrea and I, everyone thinks that it's just DJ and Kimmy are best friends, but Andrea and I have always been really close. Barber added, we do keep in touch though. We have a group chat amongst the cast and everyone has their own Bitmoji except for John Stamos. He's the only one who doesn't have a Bitmoji and he's mad about it. He's like, why don't I have a cartoon? The trio of actresses said they share the Full House legacy with their children by bringing their kids to the Fuller House stage. Burke is mother to daughter Natasha and sons Lev and Maxime, while Sweden is mother to daughters Zoe and Beatrice, and Barbara to daughter Felicity and son Tate. Lena Dunham will not be participating in the upcoming promotional tours reviving of the 5th season of Girls due to a doctor-mandated rest. The actress and filmmaker confirmed on Facebook Monday she's battling endometriosis, a condition that affects the uterus, and will be taking time off to tend to the health issue. Dunham wrote, I am currently going through a rough patch with the illness, and my body, along with my amazing doctors, let me know in no uncertain terms that it's time to rest. She also said, I'm lucky enough to have support and backup from Jenny, Judd, and the whole girls gang. So many women with this disease literally don't have the option of time off, and I won't take that for granted. The National Institute of Health notes Dunham's condition affects 6 to 10% of women of reproductive age and often can cause infertility. The Good Wife co-creators Robert King and Michelle King said CBS's decision to announce the critically acclaimed series closure came at the last minute. Speaking with reporters after Sunday's Super Bowl 50 announcement shocked fans and critics alike, Robert King said the network was still considering the possibility of continuing on, so we only heard about the Super Bowl possibility within the last week. Michelle King added during a conference call with the press Monday, it was first pitched as perhaps a possibility and started to solidify. The network's extremely high-profile method of announcing the 7th and final season of The Good Wife, Robert King believes, was meant to honor the show. The Kings are reportedly hard at work on their next project as The Good Wife comes to a close with its final 9 episodes. Their upcoming series Brain Dead premieres on CBS this summer. Michelle King told reporters, we knew that we could control our fate, but we were very aware that we did not control the fate of the series. That's what the studio and the network decided, so we felt very fortunate and flattered that we're being allowed to end the show with the other writers and the other producers the way we hoped it would end. Robert King said, this is not a show that is ending because anybody hates each other. We're ending the show because it really is a show that should be ending. The Good Wife airs on CBS Sundays at 9 p.m. Hugh Jackman's latest bout with skin cancer went viral when the star posted a photo of his bandaged nose on Instagram Monday. The Wolverine star wrote in a caption, an example of what happens when you don't wear sunscreen, basal cell. The mildest form of cancer, but serious nonetheless. Please use sunscreen and get regular checkups. Jackman's rep told People magazine the basal cell was removed and the, quote, margins are clear and he's fine. The actor has had 4 skin cancers removed on his nose and showed 3 of them over the last 3 years in his own campaign to get people to wear sunscreen. He told his social media followers about his wife, Deborah Lee Furness, talking him into getting a checkup in 2013. He wrote, boy, was she right. I had a basal cell carcinoma. Please don't be foolish like me. Get yourself checked. He did a lot of press for X-Men Day of Future Past in 2014, wearing a bandage on his nose from a previous procedure. Aubrey ODay and Pauly D have been dating for the first few months of this year. The 31-year-old former Danity Kane singer confirmed the news in an interview with E! News following romantic rumors. O'Day and Pauly D met on the set of new E! series Famously Single, which will premiere this summer. The singer revealed that this chemistry happened within the house with a few of the castmates, and Pauly and I were one of them, which everyone always laughs about. I feel like people think we're completely different, but ended up being pretty alike in a lot of ways. She added, we connected in a really interesting way. I mean, it's definitely something you're going to want to tune in and watch. We have a very funny relationship. I love his wit. He's incredibly funny and smart and very talented. ODay and Pauly D haven't put a label on their relationship and are focused instead on enjoying the moment. The couple will celebrate the singer's 32nd birthday February 11th in the Caribbean before spending Valentine's Day in Las Vegas, where Pauly D lives. ODay shared, Pauly makes me stay in the moment and gets out of my head. I'm so analytical and have to assess risk everywhere I go. Pauly's taught me how to lighten up and enjoy life. ODay came to fame with Danity Kane and released her first solo EP, Between Two Evils, in 2013. She and fellow Danity Kane alum Shannon Bex currently performs as Dumb Blonde, while Pauly D is known for Jersey Shore and the Pauly D Project. Liam Neeson is reportedly seen in the new special Someone. The 63-year-old Irish actor opened up about his personal life in an interview with the Irish Independent published Sunday. Nielsen confirmed that he's dating but declined to name his love interest. The star allowed, I'll embarrass her if I say her name. She's incredibly famous. I'll have to do my best for her. It's amazing how far a simple bunch of freshly picked flowers will go in a lady's life, I find. Nielsen was married to English actress Natasha Richardson, who died of injuries from a ski accident at the age of 45 in 2009. The couple were wed for nearly 15 years, and the actor admits his wife's death is still a touchy subject. He said, of course, the grief is still there. You do your best. I have had many little letters, beautiful little cards scrawled from people after her death. I still have them, and they are very meaningful. It is really touching. In your soul, you know that there are people out there caring for you. Nielsen and Richardson share two sons, 20-year-old Michael and 19-year-old Daniel, the elder of whom is also pursuing acting. Nielsen shared a memory of Richardson on My Favorite Song in January, revealing she sang Crazy Love at their 1994 wedding. He explained of the Van Morrison song as a romantic ballad. Behind my back, Natasha had been taking singing lessons to sing it to me. After the ceremony, we were all going in to start the night's festivities, and she grabbed the microphone and sang me this. Nielsen is slated for a number of upcoming projects, including Silence with Adam Driver, A Monster Calls with Felicity Jones, and Felt with Makia Monroe. He will also star in The Commuter and Operation Chromite. Khloe Kardashian and boyfriend James Harden have reportedly called it quits. Sources told Us Weekly the 31-year-old reality star and 26-year-old Houston Rockets shooting guard broke up weeks ago, although Kardashian told E! she and Harden were good on January 11th. An insider explained to E! News nothing really bad happened. They just barely saw each other in the past few months, and it died out. Kardashian and Harden were first linked in July and continued to date after the reality star called off her divorce to estranged husband Lamar Odom. She clarified she and the 36-year-old former NBA player aren't romantically involved on the Ellen DeGeneres show in November. She said of Odom's hospitalization, I'm there helping him. It's definitely a very unique situation to say the least. James is fine with it. I mean, we have to communicate a lot, and he's really supportive and great. I think the press and everything, they make it more complicated. Kardashian took Odom on a hike with sister Kim Kardashian on Sunday and was spotted with ex-boyfriend French Montana at Ace of Diamonds strip club the next day. She dismissed reconciliation rumors by retweeting, just because two people who were involved are seen together doesn't mean they're back together. Kardashian and Odom's divorce was pending, with the athlete was discovered unconscious in a Las Vegas brothel in October. The former NBA star was in the hospital nearly 3 months before moving to a private facility in January. Actress Taryn Manning of Orange is the New Black fame is demanding $10 million in damages from the city of New York for what she says was a false arrest. Manning, 37, was handcuffed in November 2014 after a woman accused of stalking the star alleged she had sent her threatening text messages violating a restraining order. In a petition filed by the New York Supreme Court Monday and obtained by People, the Orange is the New Black actress asserted that she should have never been arrested after meeting with detectives to discuss the alleged text messages. Charges were never pressed, but Manning said she was still processed and held in a cell for hours until the district attorney's office formally declined prosecution. Manning said in documents, my damages including attorney fees, hours of detention, emotional stress, and reputational harm. The lawsuit comes just weeks after the actress was accused of assaulting her makeup artist Holly Hartman, who was reportedly denied a temporary restraining order against her client. TMZ reports Manning allegedly head-butted Hartman and sprayed Windex in her eyes in November, but the actress said that the two haven't been in contact for months. Ciara is demanding $15 million in damages from her ex, rapper Future, over his alleged public criticism of her mothering capabilities. The rapper and father of Ciara's son, also named Future, has spoken out in contention against his former fiancée in recent months, saying the R&B singer's boyfriend, Russell Wilson, was part of a publicity stunt of her design against him. Future said in a response to the photo publicized over the summer, "She probably set him up. Leave my son out of the publicity stunts. Just leave him out of your relationship." TMZ reports Ciara cited her ex's recent comments in her complaint, among others, including a Twitter rant by the rapper in January. He reportedly wrote, "This shit's got control problems. I got to get through lawyers to see baby Future. The shit for $15K a month." He also wrote in a still existing tweet, "I just want baby Future, that's all. I've been silent for a year and a half. I ran out of patience." The suit also calls for the deletion of Future's tweets related to his family and to legally prohibit him from publicly discussing their son. Rapper DMX was found unconscious recently by police in New York, where he was revived and later rushed to a hospital, according to reports. TMZ first reported of the rapper's health scare, reported that on Monday when he collapsed to the ground without a pulse in a Yonkers parking lot. Authorities immediately began performing CPR on DMX, whose real name is Earl Simmons, until he was revived minutes later. Lieutenant Patrick McCormick told the New York Daily News there was an excellent job by the officers, and they definitely saved a life. They found him in a lifeless condition with no breathing. They were able to bring back some breathing. TMZ reported that a witness on the scene told police that DMX had ingested some sort of powder before he collapsed, a claim the rapper denied. Once DMX became semi-conscious, the report said he was taken to a local hospital and stabilized. DMX last made headlines in July after he was arrested for allegedly failing to pay $400,000 in child support. Now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1972, Ziggy Stardust makes his earthly debut. It was one of those events that virtually nobody witnessed, yet almost by many wish they had. The concert at London's Toby Jug Pub on February 10th, 1972, when the relatively mild rocker named David Bowie became the spaceman Ziggy Stardust. While it might be said of many such historic moments, like John meeting Paul at a backyard birthday party, or Elvis ad-libbing That's Alright Mama between takes at Sun Studios, their significance became clear only in hindsight. There was at least one man who knew exactly where Ziggy's earthly debut would lead, David Bowie himself. David Bowie told Melody Maker less than 3 weeks earlier, and still 6 months prior to the release of the album The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spider from Mars, "I'm going to be huge." And it's quite frightening in a way, because I know that when I reach my peak, it's time for me to be brought down. It will be with a bump. That last bit may have been a case of Bowie confusing his Ziggy persona with real life, but that's what was put the act over in the first place. Any rock musician can put on a costume, but how many could have inhabited the identity of an androgynous Martian rock star come to Earth in its dying days so convincingly, so effortlessly? Bowie has credited two men with serving as his inspiration for creating Ziggy Stardust. One was the man he met and spoke with after his first Velvet Underground concert and took to be Lou Reed, who was in fact Reed's replacement in the Velvets. He said he sat there and talked as though he was Lou, and he was talking about how he wrote Waiting for the Man and all these things, recalled Bowie years later. And he also added, "It was at that point that I realized that at that time it didn't matter to me if it was the real one or a fake one." The other inspiration was Vince Taylor, an obscure figure to Americans, but a figure well known in the late 60s London as a former pop star, very publicly losing his mind. He said he fired his band and went on stage one night in a white sheet. He told the audience to rejoice that he was Jesus. They put him away. From this mix, Bowie created the persona and groundbreaking album that offered, quote, "a finger up the nose of pop sincerity, a boot in the collective sagging denim behind of hippie singers-songwriters," and made his career. As one of the roughly 60 young Londoners in the audience that night at the Toby Jug now recalls, Bowie had brought theater to a humble pub gig. "I couldn't blink for fear of missing something. Nothing would ever be the same again." Also on this date in 2014, Shirley Temple Black, who as a child in the 1930s became one of Hollywood's most successful stars, died at her Woodside, California home at the age of 85. The plucky, curly-haired performer sang, danced, and acted in a dozen films by the time she was a teen. As an adult, she gave up movies making movies and served as a U.S. diplomat. Born on April 23, 1928 in Santa Monica, California, Temple began taking dance lessons when she was 3. In 1932, she was discovered by an agent and cast in a series of short films called Baby Bursleks. Her career took off in 1934 when she appeared in the film Stand Up and Cheer, then went on to star in such movies as Little Miss Marker in 1934, in which she played a girl left with the bookie as an IOU for her father's bet on a horse. Bright Eyes in 1934, which featured her signature song on the good ship Lollipop. The Little Colonel in 1935, the first of 4 films she made with African-American entertainer Bill Bojangles Robinson, and Curly Top in 1935, which included another one of her hits, Animal Crackers in My Soup. With America in the midst of the Great Depression, Temple's sunny optimism lifted the spirits of movie audiences and helped her make the nation's top box office draw during the second half of the 1930s. President Franklin Roosevelt once proclaimed, "As long as our country has Shirley Temple, we will be all right." Among Temple's other films credits from this era are Heidi in 1937, Wee Willie Winkie 1937, and Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm in 1938. Temple's cinematic career cooled when she entered her teens, although she continued to work. The actress married at age 17 in 1945, only to divorce in 1949, a year after giving birth to her first child. In December 1950, she wed businessman Charles Black, and that same month announced her retirement from making movies. During the late 1950s and early 1960s, Temple, who had 2 children with her second husband, returned briefly to the entertainment business and hosted a TV show. She also became active in California's Republican Party and in 1967 made an unsuccessful bid for the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1969, President Richard Nixon named her a delegate to the United Nations General Assembly. In 1972, Temple underwent treatment for breast cancer and became one of the first well-known women to speak out about the disease. From 1974 to 1976, she was President Gerald Ford's ambassador to Ghana and won praise for her work in that role. She went on to serve Ford's chief of protocol from 1976 to 1977. Under President George H.W. Bush, Temple was appointed the U.S. ambassador to Czechoslovakia in 1989 and saw the collapse of communism in that country. In 1999, Temple, who earned an honorary Academy Award at the age of 6, was named one of the 50 greatest screen legends by the American Film Institute. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, February 10th, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.